In 2021 and 2024, Dune appeared as a 5-hour US science fiction in 2 parts based on Frank Herbert's same-named classic from 1965. The first movie was delayed from 2020 to 2021 and released simultaneously in cinemas and on streaming, as were all of Warner's theatrical movies at that time, thanks to the worldwide corona pandemic scam, during which, with nonsensical socialist distancing rules, weak-willed simpletons were trained to fear death from a common cold and avoid crowds of people, in this case cinemas. See the COVID-1984 videos. Nevertheless, it made at costs of $165 million more than $430 million worldwide back, and was a success that was also well received by critics. The second part also received mostly positive feedback, but not from me. I can't stand this hidden woke cheat pack, and made with a $190 million budget so far in its second week already over $200 million worldwide. For David Lynch's adaptation from 1984 and the TV series in 2000 and 2003, see the same-named Rare View. In the year 10,191, mankind has colonized the universe, and foiling noble houses are fighting for power. Duke Leto Atreides of the planet Caladan is enfeoffed by Emperor Shaddam IV with the barren desert planet Arrakis, the only place where the spice exists. A mind-expanding drug which leads to blue eyes if consumed continuously, with anti-aging effects that enables the navigators of the guild to travel at faster than light interstellar speeds. Among the envoys is the Reverend Mother of the Order of Bene Gesserit. She was told from Lady Jessica, the Duke's concubine and also a Bene Gesserit, that her son Paul Atreides, whom she gave birth to against the orders to only create daughters, has been haunted by visionary dreams for some time. After passing a test, Paul learns that he is a product of a secret eugenics program that has been running for thousands of years to breed a superhuman, the Kwisatz Haderach. At the same time, the sadistic Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, head of a long-foiling house that previously ruled Arrakis for 80 years, is secretly aided by the Emperor and his Imperial Zadokar special forces to destroy the Atreides, since he fears his growing influence in the Council of Planets and the immense fighting power of his army. After the Duke's betrayal and death, Paul and his pregnant mother, who as Bene Gesserit has special powers called the Voice, which she also taught her son, are able to flee into the wilderness of Arrakis thanks to these abilities. There, after Paul proves his worth in a duel to the death, they are taken in by the mysterious inhabitants of the desert, the Fremen, from whom the water-storing survival suits originate, and he meets Chani, the girl who has repeatedly appeared in his dreams. In the, in my opinion, much weaker sequel, Paul learns their customs over time and passes the sandworm riding test. His mother becomes the new Reverend Mother and spiritual leader of the Fremen through a ritual. She drinks the water of life obtained from drowned sandworms, which brings her unborn daughter Alia to full consciousness. While, according to the script, a love affair supposedly develops between Paul and Chani, he gains the respect of the Fremen by assisting in attacks on the Harkonnen and is recognized and revered as the Messiah. After he also drinks the for ordinary people deadly water of life, he gains absolute knowledge. Among other things, he sees that his mother is the daughter of Baron Harkonnen and succeeds in uniting the Fremen leader under the banner of the Atreides. With his troops, he attacks the Emperor's fortress, who accepted his challenge and landed his ship near the capital Arrakeen, and captures him and his daughter, Princess Irulan. When warships from the other great houses appear in orbit around Arrakis, Paul threatens to destroy all the spice fields with the family's remaining nuclear weapons. He kills the last Harkonnen in a duel and then forces the Emperor to submit to him. To secure his claim to rule, he wants to take his daughter Irulan as his wife. Chani turns away from him like an offended little child, disappears into the desert, and the movie ends with the beginning of the Holy War, as the great houses do not recognize his claim. This time the soundtrack is by Hans Zimmer. The, for the most part, well-cast and breathtakingly elaborately staged movie by Denis Villeneuve. See also Blade Runner 2049, which by the way I also can't stand, and the book tell almost the same story, but the movie tells it in months. In the book it's 5 years. and not the whole one. It ends on a cliffhanger. And there are other differences too, like the lack of subplots thanks to the sudden disappearance of characters, preferences omitted due to political correctness. In the original, Baron Harkonnen likes teenagers who resemble 15-year-old Paul Atreides, weird gender swaps, where highly interesting male characters suddenly become moderately to completely uninteresting female ones, or that the talentless Mary Jane replacement from Spider-Boy is allowed to fail a second time as a talentless Chani replacement. At no point does it become clear what Paul sees in the unsympathetic, unnecessarily unattractive portrayed whiner, who in stark contrast to the original constantly plays herself to the fore and seems to have been promoted to the voice of the skeptics, pulled out of the children's sandbox, of course, who don't believe in the prophecies. In the book there is no unbelieving faction. And in this version they don't have a common child which gets killed during a raid. One of the main differences is also the omission of the Alia character, Paul's supernatural sister, who actually takes care of the Baron. Here, however, thanks to the shortened time span, she has not yet been born and only appears as fetus and in a god-awful vision of the future.